we're going to be installing some cool factory accessories, black optic tips. These go right in here in the bumper. They're actually metal, but the trick is we're going to have to remove the bumper in order to get these installed on this brand new A5. Stay tuned. So we're going to get started here, and we're going to take everything out of the trunk. These floor mats. The main reason we're taking the stuff out of the trunk is because we need to get this subfloor up and out of the way. So we got that out of the way. The next thing we need to move are these side panels in here. We're just going to turn it, and these come right out. Same on this side over here. Just going to turn it. There's a knob here, and there's also a plug because it has a cigarette adapter. You're going to push the pin in, it disconnects, and it comes right out. So next we got to remove this shield here, this piece, and you're going to reach down up in here and lift up on both sides, and then grab it from both sides and go straight up, and that removes this piece. You can just simply put this right back into the car. It makes things a lot easier. Next we're going to be removing the 4 10mm bolts that's located right underneath me here. There's 1, 2, 3 on either side behind the underneath the lights. So in order to remove the bumper, we have to remove the lights. Removing the lights is pretty simple. This is a plastic cover they got in here, and what you're going to do is you're going to take your finger and you're going to push down firmly inside, down in here, and as you can see, this pops right off. Okay, pretty straightforward. Place it inside the trunk. Then you're going to take your T25s. There's 2 screws up in here. Okay, you're going to remove both of these screws. And once you remove the screws, put the screws in a safe location because you're going to be reusing them. Take your both hands and pull back. Comes right out. Now you don't have a lot of space to work with, but you're going to take the wiring harness, disconnect it here, pinching down tight, removing it, and placing the light safely back in the trunk. Now you're going to repeat that same process on the other side. So we're going to use these 2 bone tools here. There's a pin located in here which locks the bumper into place between the body and the actual bumper. It needs to be removed in order to get the bumper off the car. So come over here, you can take your bone tool, this bottom piece, use it as a pry station, and come right up like that. Pull this pin out. Then this key here comes open. It's kind of like a hinge. It opens up, and as you can see, you pull it away from the car like that, or the bumper, and you're good to go. You're going to repeat this step on the other side. So on the bottom side of the bumper, there are 4 mechanical fastenings. There's going to be 2 10mm nuts on the center, and there's going to be 2 T25s on the outside. I'm going to quickly zap these off. So on each side of the wheel well, there is 4 T25s that need to be removed. So you're going to get down here and remove the 4. There's 1 going right up into the top. And right on top here, you're going to peel the lining down and back like this, and you're going to see that there is 1 going straight into the body of the vehicle. A little tricky to get to. Pull that down and repeat this on the other side. So after removing the screws, you're just about ready to remove the bumper. But we're not really going to be removing the bumper from the car, because if we do completely remove the bumper from the car, we're going to have to potentially recalibrate the parking sensors. So what we're going to do is we found this box here and this soft pad to set the bumper onto the box, and we're going to basically sneak the bumper right off onto the box, so therefore we can have enough room to work in the back to undo the tips. And once we get that part down on here, we can do our work behind the bumper. Okay, don't be so eager to pull the bumper right off just like this, because it won't come off. What you need to do is there's some clips here and here. What you need to do is grab your hand, lift up on both sides of the tab, pull back, then the bumper will come right off. So firmly pull the bumper off and keeping it over the bumper. Over here, you're going to repeat the same, getting that clip out. And you're just going to basically simply step the bumper down onto the box. Over here, there's a grommet over here. And what you can do is get yourself a little more slack and do the grommet. Okay? And then with the box, just simply pull back, straight back. Don't slide the bumper on the box. And that gives you plenty of space to work on both sides of the exhaust. So now you're ready to remove the exhaust tip. So what you're going to do is remove these clips in here and get them out of your way. Make sure not to damage them, okay? And then you're going to grab your T25 again and start removing these. There's 4 of them. 1, 2, make sure not to drop them. You're going to repurpose them. Okay, once you got them removed, you're carefully going to be mindful of moving this out of the way. Make sure you're not scratching the outer rim of the bumper. You're going to take it, remove it out of the way. You're going to get your new one in here and you're going to install it like so. Make sure you inspect it so it's not damaged, so you don't get it all together and say, oh man, I didn't notice that scratch. But also too, be mindful that when you're doing this, that these clips in here, they don't fall out and then mess you up. You have to make sure these clips stay in place for the reinstallation. So you're going to go in here and you're going to rock this in here like in place. Once you get it in place, you're going to start your screws. You don't want to tighten them up. You just basically hand start them all like so. So then you can assure that they're all going to get pre-started and not cross thread on you or mess up the clip as you're installing them. You're basically going to have a safe drive with your pneumatic tool and not mess anything up. And you're going to be repeating the same steps on the other side. The difference between this side and the other side is that there's no harness. So it's pretty straightforward on the other side. So once you have the tip in place, don't forget to install your harness. You're going to push this harness into place here and into place on the back. And that's it. So now that the tips are in place and everything looks good, you can physically see that everything is good here and on both sides. You're going to take and you're going to push your support, which it be a box or maybe whatever you find, and you're going to slide it forward as far as you can, right about there where it's kind of touching, and you're going to reinstall the grommet you removed, which is right over here. And you can sneak your hand up in here and help along pushing the grommet back into place. So now that the grommet's in place, we're ready to put the bumper back on. You really don't need 2 people to do this. You're basically going to grab the bumper from the top and you're going to focus on getting these 2 studs in first, okay? And once you get them in, you're going to hold it in place. You're going to come around the corner, okay? And you're going to pop your side in, okay? It really doesn't take a lot of force. It simply just pops into place. Okay, as you can see over here, I'll show you. You're just simply pushing it in place. There's nothing that you need to be smacking on. And down in here, it's going to lock in back into those clips. And you're set. You make sure all the mating lines are good. and that's going to be the bumper back on the vehicle. So now that you're at this point, now you can just basically reverse everything that you have done by removing the lights, the inner panels, and all the screws you removed to get the car back together. I will simply do this right now, and with the magic of movie, you'll see it done here shortly. So the installation is complete, and as you can see, it wasn't very hard to do. It's some simple tools to get the tips on. You do have to remove the bumper. Anyhow, as you can see, it's done. The car looks elegant, and pretty much it's good to go.